What do you get when you mix jealousy, slavery, betrayal, and a prison cell? You get Joseph's incredible story. Joseph was the ultimate underdog, but God had other plans. So let's unpack how this nobody called Joseph became a leader that can never be forgotten. So, welcome, precious people, to lesson 12. Today, we are diving into the topic Joseph's preparation for leadership responsibilities. The memory scripture from Genesis chapter 41 and verse 41 says, "And Pharaoh said to Joseph, 'See, I have set you over all the land of Egypt.'" Joseph's story teaches us about resilience, faith, and the power of divine dreams. Let's start from section 1, Joseph's preparation. Joseph was a grandson of Isaac, who we had just talked about last week. He was born to Jacob and Rachel. He was Jacob's 11th son and Rachel's first. From a young age, Joseph had two prophetic dreams, as told in Genesis chapter 37. First, his brothers' bundles of grain on the farm bowed down to his own. And second, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed before him. These dreams, meant to prepare the heart of Joseph, sparked intense jealousy and hatred from his brothers. They could not fathom him leading them. Even his parents questioned him. But God's vision was far greater than their limited perspective. These dreams were not just about family. They foreshadowed the global impact that Joseph was going to make. But before that, Joseph was going to be facing immense trials. His brothers, who were consumed by envy, plotted to kill him. But instead of killing him, they sold him into slavery to Ishmaelite merchants. And this took him to Egypt, a foreign land, where he was sold to a man called Potiphar. Despite this devastating setback, Joseph didn't succumb to despair. He adapted, he learned the Egyptian language, and he excelled in Potiphar's household. He demonstrated exceptional management skills. However, his integrity was tested. He was falsely accused and thrown into prison. And even in prison, Joseph's leadership qualities shone very brightly. He gained favor with the jailer, and he was placed in charge of other prisoners. God was with him, turning every adverse situation into a training ground. So let's go to section 2, Joseph's appointment. While in prison, Joseph's gift of interpreting dreams became evident. He correctly interpreted the dreams of two fellow prisoners who were the king's chief cupbearer and the chief baker. That story is in Genesis chapter 40. 2 years after that, when Pharaoh, the king, had troubling dreams, the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Pharaoh had to summon Joseph, who, guided by God, not only interpreted the dreams, but also provided a strategic plan to manage the impending famine. That's in Genesis chapter 41. Pharaoh was impressed by Joseph's wisdom, and he elevated him to the second in command of all of Egypt. Egypt, a world power at that time, was now under Joseph's wise administration. He managed the grain stores effectively, and people from all over the world came to Egypt for food. This included his brothers. When they finally stood before him, that is his brothers, Joseph revealed his identity and he offered forgiveness. He said, "And now don't be so upset and don't be angry with yourselves for selling me here. It was God who sent me here ahead of you to preserve your lives." So Joseph saw all his adversities as strategic moves by God to prepare him to lead his family out of famine. Joseph's leadership, however, extended beyond his family. He played a crucial role in fulfilling God's covenant with Abraham and impacting nations. And so, what can we learn from the journey of Joseph? First, cherish the dreams and the visions that God gives you. They hold immense potential to where God is taking you. Second, expect opposition and misunderstanding from other people, especially those close to you. Don't let them deter you. Third, God often uses trials and failures to prepare us for greater purposes. These experiences refine our character and they equip us for leadership. Specifically, write down the situations that you are going through at the moment and the lessons that you can learn from them. They will definitely help you in the future. Remember, like Joseph, God can turn your adversities into opportunities. Don't underestimate the power of God's preparation in your life. In summary, don't overlook your visions and your experiences. They are tools through which God prepares you for leadership. So thanks for taking out time to join us today. I trust that there is a lot that you have picked from these 5 minutes. Let us meet again next week as we look at the story of Joshua. Till then, have a lovely week. God bless you.